there are three little disparate stories that arise. Let's see what happens when we put their chemistry together. There was an atheist who fell over a cliff, but he managed to grab a vine that was hanging on the side. But as he was hanging there, he realized that he would not be able to hold on for too long. And then he had a thought. So he shouted as loud as he could, "God!" Silence. No response. So he shouted even louder, "God, if you save me, I will tell everyone about you." Silence. But then, with a very great shock that almost made him let go of the vine, a big booming voice said, "That's what they all say when they're in trouble." He said, "I'm different. I'm different. You see, even now I hear your voice and I believe I'll tell everybody." And the big booming voice said, "Oh, all right then, I'll save you. Will you do what I tell you?" The atheist said, "Yes, yes, yes." The big booming voice said, "Well, let go of the vine." The atheist said, "What do you think I am, stupid or something?" Then that old story about Mullah Nasruddin, that time when he was invited by the imam of the mosque to give the talk at the Friday prayers. So he stood up in front of the great throng and he said, "People, do you know that about which I am about to speak?" And the whole throng said, "No, Mullah." And the Mullah said, "Well, what's the point of speaking to a mob of ignoramuses like you?" So he got up and left. But the imam was not to be outdone. So he tutored the people for the next Friday and he asked the Mullah again. So the Mullah stood up in front of the throng and he said, "Do you know that about which I'm going to speak to you?" And on the tutoring of the imam, they all said, "Yes, Mullah." The Mullah said, "Well, I don't have to waste my time even talking about it." But you know, the imam was not about to be outdone, so he tutored the people again. And again he invited the Mullah to come the next Friday to the prayers, and the Mullah got up and he said, "Do you know or do you not know about that which I am about to speak to you?" And the throng said, "Some of us know and some of us don't know." So the Mullah said, "Well, those who know, tell those who don't know. My wife's just made some wonderful halwa. I'm going home to have." Do you know there was a town, a small town in the far reaches of Russia that was inhabited by a goodly number of Jewish people, those who'd escaped from the various wars. But they did not have a rabbi, nor did they have a synagogue. But it so happened a very, very famous rabbi was putting this town on his agenda, his schedule, for a tour that he was making. So the people of this town were so excited. They were greatly in anticipation of the visit of this wonderful rabbi. So they spent a lot of time considering what they would importune of him, what questions they would ask of him. So the night of the gathering came around, and the rabbi arrived, and they all gathered in the town central hall, agog with anticipation, all waiting. So the rabbi stood up in front of his gathering, and he gazed silently at each person who was present. And then he began to hum. And everyone began to hum. And then he began to sing. And everyone sang. And then he moved with measured steps in a dance. And everyone got up and danced in measured steps. Several hours passed, and everyone was uplifted, transported. Then the dance came to an end, and all fell into silence. But after a little while, the rabbi spoke, and looking around again at each one of those who was present, he said, I trust that I have answered all of your questions. Putting these little disparate stories together, as they create a little alchemical cauldron in us. What is it that arises? What is it that comes forth? What is your response to the chemistry that they've created in you?